Hi there, and welcome to this academic video. My name is Alicia, and today I will be exploring the role live music plays in online dance classes. Before I start, I will remind you that this video is part of a larger project, which includes a dissertation piece. So while I will cover all essential aspects of the study in this video, if you would like a more complete account of the project, then feel free to access that resource as well. So firstly, in order to explore this subject, I will be addressing two sub-questions in order to organise and examine the research results. These questions are the following. Number one, what are the physical and emotional impacts of having live musical accompaniment in an online dance class on class participants and artists? And number two, how does having a live musician present impact the overall experiences of class participants and artists? To answer these questions, I conducted primary research involving 3 online dance classes that usually utilize recorded tracks for accompaniment. I joined each group for 2 classes, one regular class with recorded tracks and one where they experienced a live musician accompanying them for the first time. As we compare each section on screen, I will refer to the effort principle of Laban movement analysis to draw inferences of the dancer's experiences. Let's get started. Just as a reference for the whole video, the live session footage is shown in the top left of the screen and the recorded session footage is in the bottom right of the screen. The first, most obvious difference we can notice here was that Katie, the facilitator, didn't have to set the music playing at the correct point in the track during the live session, as Hedge, the accompanist, just began whenever she needed him to. This flexibility aspect of live music is positively highlighted again and again throughout the footage of all 3 classes, when the facilitator is able to focus on leading and embodying the activity and conducting smoother transitions or endings to activities. This can be contrasted with the moments of panic or stress occasionally apparent in the recorded sessions when the facilitator sets the wrong tracks playing by accident or can't quite find a piece of music with the right tempo. Thus, we can infer that the live music has a positive impact on the facilitator's teaching experience. As a result of the smoother transitions between movement intentions and a more relaxed, engaged facilitator, the participants' experience is improved because the class has a better flow and helps them to confidently commit to their dance without the interruptions of music changes. You can see this evidence when the live music builds in dynamic and some of the participants' movements transition from a bound flow to a more free flow quality, as well as becoming more staccato and intuitive, suggesting a lessening of inhibitions and a greater connection to the material. And while there is some evidence of this happening in the recorded music session, it appears to a lesser extent, possibly due to the less bespoke accompaniment.
Thanks, Hedge. It was great to have the music that really matched those qualities, because my song doesn't quite match like that. So thank you. Breathing in.
In this section, each member is sharing an improvised movement with the group. Again, the top left corner shows the accompanying class, while the bottom right corner was completed with no music. Contrary to my previous statement, there are limited differences in the performance footage, as both groups demonstrate light, free-flowing, and sustained qualities of movement. It could be argued that there's a greater sense of weight, space, and time elements in the live class, which could be due to the music creating a natural rhythm to the sequence, to which the movements are being instinctively attuned. The music could also be providing a greater sense of inspiration within them to explore different movements. However, this could be attributed to the fact that the live group are standing instead of sitting, which creates greater opportunities to expand and explore moving the body. The movements used by both groups appear equally expressive despite holding different qualities, so unfortunately this section does not clearly evidence a correlation from either accompaniment type, and could instead suggest the emotiveness of the movements to be attributed to the emotional closeness and familiarity of the group members. Here the group perform their spell dances to a variety of sounds in replacement of the initial track of bird sounds as seen in the bottom right. Generally speaking, little changed in terms of movement dynamic as the sequences were intentionally quite quiet. However, throughout the explorations, Katie remarked on each sound effect and the quality she felt they brought to the sequences. This indicates that although music may not physically impact a performance, it can affect the emotions of the performer and audience. We can observe this being evidenced through the smiles of participants that are observing their peers' performances. Also, key to this clip is the comment Katie makes at the end, which shows how much she, as a facilitator, appreciates the convenience and simplicity of having live accompanist.
Lovely. Oh, really nice with the bird song, and I love the way you can just cover it in and out. So good. Thank you.
Here is another group I worked with called Moving Minds. In this portion of the video, we can observe them mobilizing their joints to live versus no musical accompaniment. Here we can again see the benefits of the flexibility of live accompaniment as the group progressed through activities of increasing energy levels. The musician's emphasis on different rhythms is particularly important in this section, as he's able to accentuate the facilitator's intentions for the music and make her job easier. For example, when comparing the first melodic accompaniment to the later drum beat, you can see the change in participants' bodies. In particular, the timing factor of Laban's effort is evident with people engaging in time to the beat.
Shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. Let's take the arm, other arm. Let's shift.
This isn't evident in the other session, as there is no tune to carry the flow of the class, so initiation is fully reliant on the facilitator transitioning through the paces. There's nothing wrong with this, however, as explored in related academic studies, music can help bypass the thinking brain and awaken the impulsive responses in our brain and body, such as tapping your foot to a piece of music. This is what helps people feel carried away by the process of dancing to music, which asserts that having live music playing makes it more likely for the participants and facilitators to enjoy themselves more. Here we have ABBA's Dancing Queen versus Improvised Funk to see how they each affect improvised movement. First thing I noticed with the live session is that they appeared to be having fun with the movement.
Great.
To break this down into Laban terms, we can first identify that space is being used, both indirectly and directly, with different body parts, which creates a somewhat chaotic but loose and energized free flow quality. Time and weight are also being used through lots of quick grounded stepping or bobbing through the legs in time to the music, which along with the fuller body engagement indicates they are enjoying and connecting to the music presented to them. The ABBA session, by comparison, has a distinctly bound quality. Mostly dancers are staying on the spot with the majority of the movement coming from the arms or upper body, with movements appearing more predictable as well. This could reflect the repetitive and familiar nature of the song, and could suggest overall that while the recorded familiar song was fun to dance to, the improvised funk had an extra level of energy and risk and excitement, which perhaps made it preferable.
Great stuff.
Here we can see a compilation of participant and facilitator feedback. To paraphrase their comments, both participants and facilitators alike specifically verbalize their gratitude and enjoyment of dancing to live music instead of a recorded track, using words like great, splendid, a real treat, and privilege to describe the experience. Another reflection was on the exploration sections where the music would change in quality, and while a little unsure at first, participants and facilitators found a real changing sense of movement quality from flowing to grounded, with one person asserting that we need both. From this, we can infer the flexible nature of the music felt more exciting and engaging for them, and they quite show the recognition that although certain familiar qualities are nice to explore, having the transition and contrast in qualities emphasizes both styles and improves the experience overall. A recognition of the change in overall class shape and process is also inferred from quotes such as, "There seems to be something going on between the music and us, like a conversation," and "It was like we almost knew what was going to happen." These quotes show the impact of having live music awakens curiosities and a sense of confidence and intuition they experience less with recorded music. However, There is some strong evidence of technical issues barring participants' enjoyment and engagement, such as sound levels and Zoom settings, so this should definitely be considered in future explorations into online dance.
And it's lovely how things just happen organically like that when we haven't planned. Yeah, really gorgeous. Thank you, Hedge.
So, to quickly recap the answers to our sub-questions, number 1, the emotional impacts included a sense of fun and excitement, providing a deeper connection to the relationship with the music, and a chance to experiment with new ways of moving to the music. Emotional benefits of the facilitator were also established as they could be more relaxed and focused on embodiment, which meant participants were able to confidently commit to their dance without interruptions. And finally, we see evidence that different music styles can impact dancers' emotional and creative state, more so than physically, perhaps. Physical impacts included unconscious initiation and engagement with exaggerated musical rhythms, which seemed to improve their physicality and enjoyment, as well as providing smoother transitions between activity energy levels, which is good for the body physiologically. Overall, on this footage alone, we can assert that the emotional positives of live music outweigh the negatives generally, but that care should be taken when selecting the music style and to check in regularly with sound levels, for example, because once this disruption occurs, it can really impact their emotional engagement and enjoyment of the class. Most of the participants also became quickly open to the slight differences in class content or structure, as they were ultimately grateful for the opportunity to try something new. And finally, we have seen here that working with live accompaniment creates improvements to the facilitator's experience, which ultimately benefits all, as they are the one largely responsible for carrying the sessions. So I would suggest that at least a mixed live and recorded musical approach should be strongly considered by as many dance artists as possible. Thank you for watching this video.